Hello, this is CK-Primal7 again with another commentary for the non-Disney Villain Tournament, this time round 3. Let us begin. We start off with Skullmaster versus Keldor. Two villains that I'm not totally familiar with, let's put it that way. I mean, I know Keldor is supposed to be Skeletor from He-Man and all, before he becomes Skeletor. As for Skullmaster, I think he's from a show called Mighty Max, I think is what it's called. Which I'm not familiar with, so... yeah, I don't have anything to say about this fight, other than it was really well edited. It really looks like these two are fighting each other. And now we have Puppetino versus the Great Fusilli, how do I pronounce his name? Good to see Puppetino in this series. And neat idea of him teaming up with Professor Screw-Eyes. As for the Fusilli character, not familiar with him, although I can tell he's from Courage the Cowardly Dog, even though I've only watched a few episodes of that show. Never really understood that show that much. But, I guess it was one of the shows that was kind of a combination of both funny, hilarious, and creepy and suspensive, I guess is one way to put it. This was well edited right here, how Puppetino turns him into a puppet. Now we have Cerimon and Smog versus Madonn and Bryag. Yeah, like I said, I've never seen this animated version of The Lord of the Rings, so don't have a lot to say about it. And as for Madonn, I know he's from the movie The Flight of the Dragons, which I've never seen that film before, but from what I'm seeing here, it looks kind of, creepy and all. Also, if I distinctly remember, and this is going to be kind of off topic here, but in the trailer for Disney vs. Non-Disney Villains Part 2, I think I remember them showing Madonn, so I'm guessing that means we're going to eventually see him in the Disney vs. Non-Disney Villains series. So yeah, that should be interesting. And that was just disturbing, whatever the heck that was. I don't know, like I said, I've never seen this movie, so I don't know anything about it. But I kind of figured that Cerimon would win this fight. And now we have Lord Malice versus Nightmare Moon. Rothbart sends Malice to go take out who they believe is responsible for killing off their sorcerers. And like I said, I'm still surprised they're using a pony villain. Although, there is something I've recently learned about the, hold on a second. Recently I found out that there is a category of villains known as the Knight of Cerberus. I don't know if Nightmare Moon fits this category, but what it means is they are villains who are from movies or television shows that are normally associated to be very funny or family friendly, or for kids. But however, every now and then they add in a villain to those shows and movies that make it a lot darker and pretty sinister, like Professor Screw-Eyes would be one of these, because We're Back, a Dinosaur Story, it is for kids, but Screw-Eyes makes the film pretty intensive and horrific. The same deal with some of the villains from the My Little Pony series. Even though that it's a kid's show, some of the villains, like Discord and Queen Chrysalis and Nightmare Moon, they all are pretty much demonic villains who want to plunge the world in chaos and destruction. That's pretty dark for a kid's show. Another example would be like him from Powerpuff Girls and Diesel 10 from Thomas and the Magic Railroad, which, yeah, it's the only Thomas the Tank Engine movie they made so far. But, yeah, they added in a villain that made the plot storyline pretty dark and sinister. But, yeah, it's an interesting thing I recently found out. I thought I'd share with. But I kind of figured that Malice would win this fight, because from what I've researched, Nightmare Moon only appears in like a couple episodes. In fact, it seems like a lot of the villains in the series only appear in like 2 episodes. It's very strange. And now we have Dracula versus Dr. Jekyll / Mr. Hyde. Like I said, I never really watched Batman, so I don't know much about this Dracula, but he looks pretty cool. And as for the Jekyll, Mr. Hyde character, from what I've researched, I think he's from the animated, I don't know if it's a film or a TV show, Van Helsing. Not Helsing, but Van Helsing. So yeah. I heard it's like a movie, though, Van Helsing, a live-action film, but I guess they made an animated version of it, so yeah. I mean, I don't know. But yeah, like right there, that was really well edited. And Dracula, you seriously need to get some help for your face. I mean, I don't know what that was about, so... Now we have Zarton versus Rollo. From what I've read, Zarton is also from G.I. Joe. And I noticed that we have a change in music here. That was just random. As for Rollo, like I said, I've never watched Code Geass, so I know nothing about the show. All I do know is from History Buff's commentaries and rambles. That's all I really know. But I'm just wondering, though, I mean, are the villains of Code Geass, are they actual villains, or are they just, like, anti-heroes or something? Because I heard from a friend of mine at the college I go to, he says that they're technically not villains, they're just anti-heroes or redeemed characters. I don't know, I'm not an expert of Code Geass. Now we have Maximilian Pegasus versus Valmont, who is being possessed by... we still don't know yet, exactly. I still think it's pretty cool that Valmont and Vlad Plasmus is working together. They seem to go together pretty well. But like, I'm just curious myself, who is possessing Valmont? Because it can't be the Nightmare King, and it's not Shendu. My only guess is, this is just my guess. I'm guessing it could be the Emperor of the Night, maybe, because we haven't seen him yet. That's one guess I had. Because, yeah, I really have no idea. I mean, that's the thing with these non-Disney villains, because you do not know who to expect to appear in the series, because it could be anyone. As for this Pegasus character, I never watched Yu-Gi-Oh! I mean, I may have watched a couple episodes, but I don't recall this guy. And I'm just wondering, what the heck is with these monsters, or whatever they pops out? It's like he's obsessed with cartoon characters or something, I don't know. Kind of figured, though, Valmont would win. And finally, Tecna versus Caramon, I think is his name. For some reason, History Buff said his name is Diablomon or something, but I looked that up and it turns out to be a different character, so from what it says here, it's Caramon is his name, I think. So yeah. I've noticed that you are using a lot of anime villains here. So far we've seen Helsing, Code Geass, Digimon, and Yu-Gi-Oh! I'm guessing we may see a couple more anime shows, because, I mean, I'm not a big fan of anime. There's not really a lot of anime shows I watch. The only anime show I really watched was Dinosaur King, which for some reason some people say that it's like a ripoff of Pokemon, but except with actual dinosaurs, but I liked it. I thought it was pretty cool. In fact, I think it'd be really cool to see some of the villains of Dinosaur King in this series. I think that'd be really awesome. Like, the main villain in the series is Seth. I mean, he only shows his true evilness towards the end of Season 1, and I mean, he's pretty awesome for a villain. And of course, we have Mock in the shadows, like always. By the way, speaking of Mock, this is kind of out of the topic here, but the movie he's from, Rock and Rule, is made by the company Nelvana, and I may have mentioned this on the forum before, but the company Nelvana, they made this movie, but they're the same company that did the Care Bear movies, as well as television shows for kids like Little Bear and Franklin. And I'm just wondering, how on earth did this company go from a movie that's about rock and roll music with this sinister villain who has an obsession over satanic occult rituals, go to a cheesy child show like Care Bears? I mean, it doesn't make that much sense to me. Another interesting fact is that the guy who does the voice of Mock, Don Franks, I think is his name, he did some voices in the 1981 film Heavy Metal. So I thought it was pretty interesting. Not much else really to say about this fight, other than it was pretty well edited, even though I don't know much about these characters. Like I said, I only watched a few episodes of Danny Phantom. Now for the epilogue, where we have Necron and the Snow Queen. You know, the thing is, though, from what I read on the forum, is that the Snow Queen and Necron are a married couple, but to me, that seems out of character for Necron, because if anyone's seen Fire and Ice, Necron, like, he says that he has no interest in marrying anyone in the film. I mean, if you've seen Fire and Ice, you know what I'm talking about, but yeah. And then there's Stormella. And of course we have more Nazis. I just wonder though, is Rip Van Winkle a girl? I'm guessing so. And of course we have Dracula and Vlad. And Cobra, along with Mao, I think is his name. I heard a lot about him in History Buffs commentary. And of course we have the Animal Forces, Mojo Jojo, Brain, Drake, and General Woundwort. I'm glad that General Woundwort is going to get a part in this series. But I'm surprised they're using footage of him from the television series Watership Down. Which, it's interesting. I mean, I've only seen the movie, but I've never seen the television series. And I can tell that Woundwort looks pretty different in the show than in the movie. So, yeah. But it's good to see him get a role. And all these animals are going to get their revenge on Mock, which that should be intensive. Now we have Robotnik, who has captured Sonic and has turned him evil. And also to get revenge for the death of his partner, El Supremo. And we have Evil Sonic. And Eris gives Ramesses the One Ring. And that really surprised me. I mean, like I said, I've never seen much of the Lord of the Rings films. I've only seen the first one, and that was like a long time ago. I don't remember much of it. But I think it's really cool and awesome that Ramesses, of all villains, gets the One Ring. And it makes sense, because, yeah, he used the scene from The Prince of Egypt, where he has the ring and all. But outside of that, that leads to a lot of potential for Ramesses. And, of course, we have these Code Geass characters. And Keldor is turned into Skeletor. So yeah, that was my commentary for round 3. Sorry if I didn't have a lot to say there. It's because, like I said, a lot of these non-Disney characters I'm not familiar with, so that's why I didn't have much to say for round 3. But hopefully for the next upcoming rounds, I will have a lot to say. So yeah, this is CK Primal 7, and have a nice day.